How do, folks? How you doing? I just thought I'd teach folks how easy it is not to pay income tax. There seems to be some confusion. Everybody should know by now it's a voluntary contribution. I think, yeah, but you got no choice. It's voluntary, of course you got a choice. So anyway, I've got a few people tax-free for life. They'll never have to pay tax again, ever. And it's not rocket science. I did it through some fantastic piece of wordery on documentation, where I put notices together, sent it, dealt with it. Bit of a three-stage process. Not the stage anybody would be thinking of. A three-stage process that it turned into a three-stage process. Within 3 stages, I'd totally shut down HMRC. And it's not rocket science, it's a voluntary contribution. So here goes, here's how to do it. At the end of the day, you get yourself a tax bill, send them you don't need all my words, so I'll try and do it in your words. You get this tax bill, you send them back. Thank you very much for this kind offer, which I conditionally accept on you presenting evidence that there is an obligation in law for me to pay this. And can anything be paid in this fiat currency world? State that as a question. Ask them a question: is this a voluntary contribution? If so, I don't volunteer. Is this voluntary contribution only for the consenting? If so, I do not consent. Thank you very much. I await your reply. They're going to send something back which will be gibberish, absolute gibberish. If you don't pay this, for an instance, if you don't pay this, we will be taking you to court, blah blah blah, whatever, however they word it. You send them one back saying thank you very much for your again kind offer. Unfortunately, I asked you some questions before I can proceed, and as soon as you fulfill the conditions that I am accepting under, I will happily pay you. Happily. As soon as you respond and answer my questions, we can move forward in this matter. And then they're going to go away again. Maybe in a month's time, they're going to come back and say, if you don't pay this, we're going to make you bankrupt. You send them back. I give no permission for this whatsoever. I do not consent. Anybody taking this into any court must take it into a court de jure, a true court, not an administrating hearing. That Halesbury's law states that no administrative court can be lawful in the landmass of England due to the constraints put on Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth at the time of her coronation. If they send anything back, I'll just give you some for instances there. One of them, on the third one, they sent something back crying almost, saying please don't listen to the things you're being told on the internet, they'll get you into trouble. So I responded to that one for this guy, saying thank you very much for your kind letter. I must inform you now, I was the author of that, and that is my own intellectual property. And I'm still waiting for the answers to your questions. End of story. End of story. It's not rocket science. Not much is rocket science within the law. You just got to stop trying to complicate it for yourself. You don't consent, and it's not by just standing there and saying I don't consent. I didn't consent to this. You deal with it in paperwork beforehand. They send you a bill. You respond, you're on it, you're absolutely on it. You shut the situation down. You don't wait until they take you into one of these administration hearings so they can just demand that you subrogate yourself by subjugation and go in there and give you legal joinder by your all caps name. What are you going to do that for? So a private for-profit corporation can suddenly have permission to do with you as they will, including lock you away by your own consent. And that is how the system works, folks. And yeah, I decided to do this one a real quick and a really simple one, because it's really quick and it's really fucking simple. Stop letting other people try and complicate things. You don't need my big words, and yes, they're great, and you could put all this law in there, or you could do a little bit of teaching, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and you'll hear them say the exact laws and such like, and pick them up, write them down, check them out, do your own due diligence, of course, but it's all there to check. So once you've checked these, you've got it in. You don't need to know it all here. You've wrote it all down. You have a little book with notes in on different subjects. Write these things down, and then you've got the case laws. Or ask somebody, ask me, ask somebody else. Loads of people know this shit, but to be honest, asking people, I have hundreds and hundreds of questions, and hundreds and hundreds of questions could have been answered even by Google, or DuckDuckGo, whatever your CIA point of information choice is. But they do own them all, so there's no point saying this one's better than that one. I've got this encryption, that one's... They've got them all. They've got them all, every keystroke, every word, every wave that goes over here. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that one. It was purely tax. So, and honestly, folks, that's how simple it is. And that really is how simple it is. So, don't believe me, do your own due diligence. But I've done it a few times for folks. And yes, in my words, but my words just amount to that. Just amount to that. You don't need to know it all. You just need to know who you are, who they are. It's all corporation. It's corporate law. Where's your contract? Ask them that in the questions as well. Do we have a signed for and wetting contract where both parties gave their own consideration to it? The answer is no. Of course it's not. These are the questions. So anyway, have a good one and live tax free.